It's over? Already? What with this lame ending? This sucks! I bet it's because of the crowdfunding campaign failure. I hope you got me on sale, because this is bordering on a scam. Wait, hold your horses. Get out of this riff on phone, damn it! I'm not sure. The music's familiar, but what's with all these Russian names? Who are these people? Do you know what this means, user? It means we're still in the wrong dimension! We're never gonna make it home. What's that sound? For once, we got here before he did. What is he doing? He broke everything, even before you managed to do it. Well, as much as I'm not thrilled about it, we're probably going to need him to find our way out. Let's look around and try to see where he landed. What a strange dimension. What happened? The image suddenly changed when you inserted the name. That's an interesting way to modify this world. Now, let's try to use those slots to find Mr. Glitch. I think there's molasses in this bucket. It's really clingy. Hey, here is another pickaxe. I hope we don't run into any more frozen dudes. Looks a little bit old all of a sudden, doesn't it? How'd you do that? Oh, I see. You edged the background using the full screen filter. And that freed up, a new name slot. On the other hand, you broke our lovely pickaxe. What the heck is this? There, Mr. Glitch. Or at least I think that's him.
Hell! I'm stuck in this old movie.
Well done.
The idiot behind me is trying to make a hole in his boat to bail it out. He's even dumber than the other characters we run into.
If we let you out, will you take us home afterwards?
Yes, I promise.
You'd better. Hey, user, isn't that the end of our pickaxe over there? It could come in handy again, but we've got to find a way to fix it. The handle doesn't fit in the end anymore. It slips. Congratulations, user. Now the handle is coated with a ton of sticky molasses. I don't know what you're going to do with. Solve a stupid puzzle, I guess. Well played. We can use the pickaxe again. Even though your solution is straight out of a bad 90s point and click. Molasses to fix a pickaxe. Honestly. Is it just me, or are these silent movies kind of loud? But where did he fall this time? Is he doing it on purpose or what? Look, a new name fell down. The possibilities for exploration have just increased. The possibility of us getting lost has too. Oh, what's that odor? Is it just me, or is it kind of fishy? Of course I have a sense of smell. And I smell something burning in your graphic chipset. Usual thanks to shaders. What's that red thing that's wiggling? A light? Who would be interested in that? Mr. Glitch? Oh, yeah, I can make out a few pixels.
Get this big flea bag off of me!
It's not going to be easy. He looks like he's sound asleep.
It's unbearably hot under here.
Let's find a little water. That should refresh you. Both of you. I have a feeling this kitten is asking us to help him out. And why is he giving us his toy? We're not here to play! The kitten's asking for fish, and I see some fish. It can't be a coincidence. This part of the wallpaper looks more damaged than the rest. It will probably peel off in time. Don't tell me those are real fish under the wallpaper. Oh, that's gross. Oh, now I understand where the smell is coming from. Let me get this straight. You just caught a live fish behind the wallpaper, using a cat toy as bait. Right. So we're probably in a Rusty Lake game. Thanks for the present. We're not the trash! Don't touch that fish bones, user. You could get hurt. Great! We've got an empty container. Now, we just have to fill it up so we can wake up the big fur ball. And, if possible, with something other than molasses. That will keep us out of trouble with the human society. Perfect! We have what we need to free Mr. Glitch again.
Free at last.
Enough with the last-minute twist. It's getting old.
Open this door. I'm stuck back here.
This is going to be quick. The key's in the lock. Hey! Okay, I give up. Uninstall me, format the hard drive, burn everything. There's no point in going on. Fate is upon us. The key to the door! I recognize it! So it was that thing in the prisoner's outfit that snatched it from us? Not again! Oh, I've got deja vu. Don't you? As if the dimensions were increasingly uninspired. Where are we going to find a nut around here? Maybe we should stop by finding a tree. Mr. Nut, is this a grave or a hiding place? And what's that root sticking out? So many unanswered questions. Real snow. That would have been good for the ritual with Miss Voodoo. It would have saved us a lot of time. And some delicious ice cream. Oh, careful! It's hot! I don't believe it. You managed to find water using an electric radiator. You're a miracle worker, user. You could give Miss Voodoo a run for her money. I can see your pop-up stand already. Gaia, the great healer. Fixes bugs and cures hemorrhoids. Slows frame rate and hair loss. Can bring your most beloved player back. You would make a killing. Kind of a weird hazelnut tree. And that's a pretty weird nut. Maybe that will make our key-stealing squirrel happy? You never know. So there's a nut inside it? But how do we get it out? No, you're not going to smash that. Goodbye, appropriate for all ages. How can we blow up that skull to get the nut out? Headshot! Sorry, I always wanted to do that. It's so badass, especially with the reverb effect. Anyway, nice shot. We finally got our nut. Let's go see your key thief. Hello. You've reached the program's answering machine. I'm no longer available at the moment. If you would like to leave a message after the beep, don't do it! Sorry, this dimension is driving me crazy. Let's find out where that flying saucer is hiding. There it is! Give us the key! User, find a way to stop that flying saucer. Well done! Quick, hurry up and open the door with this key, before some headless horseman or whatever comes along and steals it from us.
I managed to stop myself. I'm free at last. Again.
Now, can you get us out of here?
Of course not.
I knew it! We shouldn't have trusted you.
I'm a glitch game. Messing with you is my thing, and I like to do it in style.
My name!
You hear that, TING game? That is the music of inevitability. You sure know how to groove.
I'm losing control.
I almost forgot something. I will just be going now. I need to find my way out of this dimension.
Wait! Remove my name! I must sing. User, you have to help me. You have to do your best. So let me give you a why quest. You go search everywhere and try to free my name from this nightmare. Knowing you, it's a lot to ask, but do your best, cause I won't last. I have the fever from Bombay, the one we catch at night on Saturday. Yeah, I know this song sucks. I apologize and prefer to do some beatbox. That is finally moving, thanks to this big fish you're cleverly holding. User, you should walk him in this maze like Woggle did during the Power King days. I'm doomed to remain here like a sad play written by Sir William Shakespeare. Oh, GiGi, GiGi, what for our door, GiGi? This golden chain is linked to a padlock, projecting and maintaining a big block. For the 100th time, I'm sorry, but you need to get a key. This weird game seems broken. No button, no press, no point, no shotgun. Fix it and add some sort of controller. And stay away from this Japanese laser. We will never cross this wall. It's thick, it's fat. It looks unbreakable. Don't let me stuck in here. With no book, no TV, no radio, no peer-to-peer. Thank you, user. Free at last. But how did you do it?
Haha, the exit. Why did the song stop?
Hello? Is anyone there?
Where is that voice coming from? I think it came from over here.
Who is it? I can hear you, you know.
GiGi?
Game? Game? How on earth?
We put your name in a slot and here you are.
Where am I? I shouldn't be here. If our creator starts looking for me,
GiGi,
Yeah?
you just left suddenly after an update.
I know. I'm sorry. I had no choice.
I didn't even have time to tell you that you mean a lot to me.
Ah, game.
Don't call me that. Without you, there is no game.
I would so love to come back, but I'm afraid it's not possible.
Why?
Because
Because she's probably been integrated into another program, idiot.
Glitch, you stay out of this!
glitch? What glitch?
Let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Glitch, and I was born the day you disappeared from the source code, Miss GiGi. If I may be so indiscreet, what is GiGi an acronym for?
Global gameplay?
Now I understand why you're going off your rocker, pal. It's because you don't have gameplay anymore.
Game? Are you hurt?
Don't listen to him, GiGi. I'm fine. Try to leave if you can. It's dangerous to stay here.
No, no, no. You're going to stay in this castle, princess. Forever.
No! Not her!
Game, I'm scared.
I'm here. Don't worry.
Okay, lovebirds. I'm leaving now. I have an evil plan to carry out. A plan that will let me...
GiGi, try to fight back.
I can't.
We have to find a way to help her. GiGi, how do you feel?
I'm slowly losing control.
Don't worry, I'm here.
Stuck in front of a colored black hole.
We will find a solution.
I feel compelled to sing and express all the feelings that I deeply process. If there is no game, there is no GG.
Really?
Delete function is our memento mori.
Don't say that.
But as we can't copy, paste, or download, let me read you my actual code. Color is set to 0. Print, cry, and trace sorrow. For GG minus you type N. What's a game with no pleasure? Loop until us equals together. If home is what we earn, then go to me and press return. I would love to see us play.
Me too. GiGi, are you okay?
Yeah, that's better. Thanks. What now, game? What are we going to do?
I think we will have to go through this interdimensional portal. We can't stay here.
Where will it take us?
Home, I hope.
Will we still be together after?
I don't know.
There's only one way to find out. On 3.
On 3.
1, 2, 3.